Hi everyone, Maria from Creative Grids here, and I've got a ruler for you. This is our first left-handed 6x24 ruler. What makes it left-handed, you ask? Well, we've mirror imaged the numbers so that they read from the left-hand side of the ruler instead of the right. So they start at 0 in this corner down here, which isn't printed, but that is 0. And 1 through 24.5 up this way, and then 1 through 6.5 across the other. So let's take a look at some of the fun features of this ruler. So here on the table I have got one of our originals and our new left-handed so that you can see the difference. You can see that the labels are different. The original is our black background with the red words and the white fox. Here for our left-handed version, we've added this teal band across the top that has a printing of a left hand, and it says left-handed 6.5 by 24.5. So as you're shopping, they're going to be easy to spot. The other really fun feature is this hand printed right on the ruler of a left hand. So when you get them home and you wonder which is which, you can see right away that this is your left-handed ruler. On the original, as I mentioned before, the 0 starts here in the corner, works its way up, and then it works its way over, starting on the right-hand side. So for you left-handers here, I'm going to start the numbers on the left-hand side. 0 down here in the corner, going up to 24.5, and across over to 6.5 as well. It has all the great features of our rulers. 1-inch grid markings, as well as 1/4 and 8-inch markings, which fall in between here. It has fine black and white markings. The white you'll see are going vertical across the ruler here. The black ends up right on that 1-inch grid. It has a great turnaround feature, so if I want to cut whole inch increments, I'm going to read it from this side with the white circles and black numbers. If I want to turn it around to get the 1/2-inch increments, now the 1/2-inch numbers are right side up to me. It has great centering lines. You'll see the bullseye right here in the middle. So this horizontal line cuts this ruler exactly in half. So it's 12.25 inches from that end and 12.25 inches from this end. The other way, vertical, breaks it into 3.25 inches from here to here and 3.25 from here to here. It also has great 45-degree lines here and here and here. So you get a better picture there. And it has a 30 and 60-degree line that goes across this way. These two 45s happen to intersect right on the seam line here. So if you're trimming flying geese or squares and a squares or any kind of block that has an intersection there and you need that 1/4 inch seam allowance left, that's already right there on the ruler. And my favorite part, these are made right here in the USA. So now I'd like to show you how left-handed cutting has been made easy with our new left-handed ruler. I am going to start by having my fabric folded in half, and I'm going to fold it in half again so I have a shorter cut. That is my preference as a quilter. You have to do it however you're comfortable at home. I've got the ruler laid down so that it is white circled numbers right side up to me. I'm going to go in about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more on the fabric, and do my first cut. So now, just like I would with our original rulers, I'm going to apply some slight pressure on this ruler. I'm not going to squish it down really hard, and I'm going to run my cutter right along the left-hand side of that ruler. And look at how clean and easy that was. Now, I think I want a 2-inch strip. So I'm ignoring the grid on the mat. I am lining up my 2-inch line here onto my fabric. So now my ruler is measuring on the fabric, not on the mat. Again, apply some slight pressure, Run that cutter right up the ruler, and there's another cut. Now say I want some binding. Maybe I've got a new piece of fabric up here. I'm going to use that great turnaround feature, turn that ruler around, find the 2.5 inch line, line it up on the raw edge of that fabric. I'm going to kind of check that I'm straight down here, and it looks like I need to clean up just a little bit. I must have squinched it. So let's do that. That goes in the scrap bin. Here's my 2.5 inch strip. And look how great that is. I know this is 1/2 inch, and here's 2 more inches, and here's the numbered circles that are white numbers on black now, right there to show me that I'm correct. Like with any rotary cutting, you want to make sure that you hold that rotary cutter straight up and down. If you tend to turn it a little bit to the side or a little bit to the side, you're not going to get as accurate of a cut. It's going to wobble a little bit. So sometimes I need some practice to remind me to keep that cutter perpendicular to my table. But just that slick, it's easy to find 1.5, 3.5, 5.5, 6.5, whatever width strips you need, whether it's for your sashing or for borders in your quilt. It's very easy to see right here on this ruler. So I'm going to pretend I am cutting a border now. I'm going to do a 6.5 inch piece. I'm going to open this up. So I like to miter the seams in my borders, so I'm going to find a 45° on the ruler. I've got one that is upside down up here, and I've got one that's right side up. So because I'm cutting from the left side, I want to find the one that's right side up, whichever way I'm holding the ruler. So I'm going to line this up on the raw edge. And here's my mitered seam here. Now, an interesting fact about mitered seams, it doesn't matter if you miter them to the right or to the left. I like to do them the same direction on my quilt so that it matches all the way around. But if you, for instance, want to cut it the other way, you can. It will not make or break your quilt. Okay, say my pattern calls for a diamond. This happens to be a 2.5 inch strip, so I want to cut a 2.5 inch diamond. First job is to cut the first angle. So I'm going to line my 45 up again, and I've got the ruler facing me so that the white 45 is right side up for me. I'm going to make this first cut. Pull away my scrap. I'm going to move the ruler and the fabric. Now I'm a grid girl. I like to use my mat along with my ruler. So now here's my angle. I'm going to find 2.5. Oh, here's my 2 inch. I want my 1/2 inch to be right side up. So I'm going to turn around my ruler. Remember that turnaround feature that I love so much. And I'm going to line that up on that straight line that I just cut. And can you see what's underneath the ruler? There's my first diamond. Normally I would have a longer strip, but because I'm demoing for you to show you how easy this is, it's just a little piece. But that easy, I've got 2 diamonds ready to go into my pattern. And one more fun feature with this ruler, or any of your basic rulers, is that you can cut trapezoids. We're seeing lots of patterns that have trapezoids and triangles and 60-degree triangles and all of that. With this simple rectangle, you can do a lot of cutting just with this. I have one more trick I want to show you, and that is how easy it is to cut a trapezoid for some of those patterns that are out there. I've got my scrap piece here, and it's not straight, so I want to straighten up the edges first. I'm going to put the ruler along the lines on the mat because I've lined my fabric up on the mat, and clean up on the left-hand side of that ruler. I want to start with an 8-inch piece, so I could count the grid and move it over and cut again, but I can also turn the ruler around so that the 8-inch mark lines up with that cut I just made right here, and I know I've got an 8-inch piece. And look how slick that was. So now the shape I want is going to be angled from this end in and from that end in. I'm going to start with that 45 on the white line, right side up. White line goes along the raw edge. I'm going to cut this triangle off. And then I'm going to flip that strip over and do the same thing again because I love where this one is positioned. And there we go. So we want to welcome the left-handed ruler to our family. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with our newest rulers, tools, and videos. To find a shop near you or one of our trusted online retailers, visit creativegridsusa.com and select Where to Buy tab, and I'll see you all again real soon.